With Thanksgiving on the horizon, most of us are looking forward to putting on our stretchy pants and going back for seconds. But my guest today wanted to give you something else to feast on, a more successful retirement. Who doesn't love the sound of that, right? Mike Martinez, a financial author and the president of the Pension Group in Columbus, joining me in this sponsored segment. Good to see you, Mike.
Great to see you, Robyn.
Okay, first of all, let's just say Thanksgiving doesn't get enough attention. Am I right? I feel like we go to Christmas, we forget about it. Do you have any favorite, parts of the meal, traditions, Mike?
Well, we have a lot of family, 20, 25 people coming over, and it's a great time to be festive, and always cutting the turkey's always the favorite thing.
Right, exactly.
But all that preparation goes into it. It's kind of like retirement planning.
It is a bit, yeah.
We work 20, 30, some 40 years at major corporations, and you have to have a plan in place. I guess that's one of the biggest things I really stress to people. You have to have a solid financial plan, and as we continue to work, a lot of people have heard me on radio for over a decade now, and being on TV all these years, it's one of those things you want to work with someone that understands and can get you from pre-retirement into the retirement years.
Exactly. All right, we're going to call this a retirement feast today, okay? So we're going to talk about some top concerns first. If somebody's in or near even retirement, what do you see as the most kind of pressing issues they're facing?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they underestimate how much their expenses are going to be in retirement. Really having a plan, I think over half, survey was done, over half of Americans don't realize what they spend until they're maybe in retirement. So it's a bit of a shock, but again, that's one of the things we really focus in on when we sit down with people, is understanding what their goals, what their dreams are, but also understanding what their expenses are, so we can put together that solid financial plan.
And that is really it, because having a successful retirement, as you say, it takes quite a few ingredients. It is not just come in, hit the button on retirement, and call it a day, right?
No, it's not. I mean, certainly as an investment firm, we help thousands of people, throughout the U.S. But, one of the things I would really stress, it's not just about investments. We call it a roadmap to retirement. We'll get into income planning. We'll also get into tax planning. Taxes are one of the biggest things facing people in retirement. We'll get into Social Security as well as legacy planning, making sure people have their wills, trusts, other important documents set up. So it's not just investments, it's having all those 5 ingredients in order to prepare a solid financial plan.
Okay, and Mike, here you are the Pension Group, right? So let's talk about pensions a bit. Let's first talk about how maybe people can ensure they are getting the max on their pensions. And I guess I didn't even realize there was kind of a strategy when it comes to your pensions, right?
Well, it is. The last few years, because interest rates kept going up, people were losing $100,000, $150,000 in their pension. Good news is this year, we're seeing these segmented interest rates come down tremendously, and we're showing people how to make anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000 more in their pension. And I had a situation with a client all the way back in 2019, Calvin, a good client of mine, and he was working with another firm, just like a lot of people work with other advisors. And I remember him telling me, well, my current advisor is telling me that those rates aren't really going to affect my pension. And I said, Calvin, here's the rates. I was basically showing the rates, and I said, look, if you retire and we execute this properly, and he became a client of our firm, and he made an extra $68,000 in his lump sum pension.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's big money, yes.
Yeah. And what would you do with an extra $68,000?
Go on a few trips at least, do something fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's really what we do. So people need to understand, you don't want to retire one day too soon. You need to understand every corporation's a little different, but we have our pulse on a lot of companies here in Central Ohio, around the country, where we can really advise them when the best time to retire. And again, if interest rates keep coming down next year, we're going to see another increase to people's lump sum pensions and make up for some of the losses they've had throughout the years.
Mike, I want to mention one of the things people don't often realize, and that is the cost of health care as they get into retirement. Do you have any advice how they can prepare for that?
Well, it's understanding, what their current insurance is going to cover, or maybe retirement health insurance, what Medicare will cover, co-pays, Medicare supplements, long-term care. On average, a couple can spend over $300,000 when it comes to expenses for retirement throughout their lifetime. So it's a challenge, but maybe having a separate bucket of money to address some of those concerns, where they have some money set aside, maybe not $300,000, but gradually build towards that, so it doesn't put them in a predicament. You
In
know.
a predicament, a bad situation. Okay, so if our viewers want to enjoy their retirement, they want to get all of their ducks in a row, so to speak, how do they reach out to your team, Mike?
Well, I really tell it's real simple. Just give our office a call. We're going to have a number below on the screen, but we're really trying to sit down with those that are in or maybe near retirement, and if they've saved at least $500,000 or more, our team's really going to sit down with you to understand what your goals are, what your dreams are, and then we're going to go through those options. And again, this is available for the first 5 callers here today, so they can call that number on the screen right now.
All right, sounds great, Mike. Thank you for being here.
Great for having me.